Now, what is this word here? Ambivalent. What does that mean now? Having two opposite feelings at the same time is called being ambivalent. If you are having two feelings and they are opposite feelings about something, then you can call yourself to be ambivalent. That means you are uncertain or you're unsure about your decision. For example, she remained ambivalent about her marriage. That means she was having uncertainties about whether she should marry or not. You know, sometimes in exams, when someone is asking you for an answer, you are uncertain whether you should help them or not, right? So that is called being ambivalent, all right? You're having two opposing feelings. That means the two feelings you have, they are contradicting each other. The angel on one side of your shoulder says, let's help this person. And the devil on the other side of your shoulder says, I don't think we want to do that. We might get caught. So yeah, let's not do that. So yeah, ambivalent. The government's position on nuclear weapons is deeply ambivalent. That means it's uncertain. They're confused. We are both ambivalent about having a child. Let's say there's a couple and they are not quite sure whether they want to have a child right now or not. They are uncertain. They are confused. They have opposing feelings about the idea of having a child. So ambivalent, right? You can remember that ambiguity is something related to again having uncertainty, right? So both the words are related to having two options about something, two feelings about a certain decision, right? Okay, let's see the next word, ameliorate. Now, ameliorate means to make a bad or unpleasant situation better. Let's say, you know, your friend, they couldn't pass a test, or maybe someone couldn't get a job, and you really want to make this bad or unpleasant situation better. So that would be called as to ameliorate. Everyone wishes to ameliorate his own condition, right? So every person in this world wants to make their own condition better. So that is called ameliorate, right? Foreign aid is badly needed to ameliorate this situation. There is a situation, it's super bad, and now we need foreign aid. We need outside support to make the situation better, to make the unpleasant situation pleasant. So that is called ameliorate. He works hard to ameliorate his family's poor circumstances. If someone is going through poor conditions, a family is struggling, and a person is working really hard to get their family conditions better, we can say they are trying to ameliorate their conditions, their circumstances. All right. So you can see this girl, let's say her name is Amelia, and Amelia is trying to make this person feel better about their situation of not being able to walk. So if Amelia is trying to rate someone's situation high up, all right, we can say ameliorate. Amelia is trying to rate someone's situation, someone's condition high up, trying to make it better. So ameliorate means trying to make a situation better. All right, I'm just gonna say this girl right here is Amelia, and Amelia is trying to make situations better for this person. So ameliorate, Amelia making situations better for people. All right, hope this helps you remember. Okay, let's move on to our next word, anachronism. Anachronism is a person or a thing, could be an idea as well, that exists out of its time in history. That means any person, anything, or any idea that is outdated, let's say does not belong to the trending scenario or to the current world. Okay, it's something that should be in history now. It's out of time. It is outdated. Can you see this typewriter? Remember, there were typewriters earlier. Now we have keyboards, right? We have such amazing keyboards. I can't tell you. I've seen them all over Instagram. They are super cute. But this typewriter was a thing of its own. And now it is not frequently used. I would say it's not even used, by anyone anymore. I think some people still do keep typewriters, but in today's world, typewriters would be an anachronism because they don't belong to this world. They are a thing of the history. I can also say they're outdated, all right? For some people, marriage is an anachronism. That means in today's world, some people think that the idea, the concept of marriage is outdated. You don't really have to marry someone in order to be with them. So some people think that marriage is anachronism, outdated, out of time, all right? The monarchy is something of an anachronism these days. That means monarchy, the ability of a single person to rule a kingdom, to rule a country, is an idea that is outdated, that exists out of its time in history. So anachronism is something that is not trending, that is not belonging to the present. So monarchy, the idea of one ruler being able to reign the entire kingdom, is sort of an anachronism these days. Gay marriage is anachronistic. Let's just say marriage, right? So gay marriage, you don't really have to specify their gay marriage. If two people want to marry, may they be a girl or a boy or two girls, two boys, does not matter. A marriage is a union and it should be just called a marriage. Why call it gay marriage specifically? So calling a marriage between same sex should not be called gay marriage. This is anachronistic. This is outdated. This exists out of time. It does not belong to the current world, this word, this phrase. Okay? So yeah, anachronism. If you have troubles remembering this, remember chrono. The word chron, the base word in anachronism is chrono, and chrono means time. All the words that you see with chrono as a base word in any part of the word, if you're seeing chrono, that means the word will be associated with time, all right? Chronology, again associated with time. So chrono is associated with time, and anachronism. Anna, Anna is not of this time. Anna is of some other time. So anachronism, Anna belonging to some other time, that means Anna is outdated, let's say. Anna is not of this time. She belongs to the history. So anachronism means belonging to history, outdated, existing out of its time, right? Okay, let's move forward. Antagonistic. Now you can see these two people, seems like they're fighting over something, like not agreeing over something. I guess that's how couples are. They cannot really agree over everything. So showing active opposition towards someone or something. If someone gave you an idea and you want to oppose it, what are you doing? You're showing active opposition towards that idea. That means you are antagonistic towards the idea. You can also be antagonistic towards a person, right? That means you do not agree with that person. You are showing active opposition against that person, all right? So antagonistic. He's always antagonistic towards new ideas. That means he's always showing opposition. He's never agreeing with any new idea. He always has to counter it, right? Always has to go against it. So this person who is always going against things is an antagonistic person, all right? You can also see in antagonistic, there is a part against. You can mark this part and say that this is the incorrect spelling for against, okay? Agonist, like this, against. Oh, they mispronounced against in this part. Oh yeah, maybe by mistake, because antagonistic actually means being against something, all right? So antagonistic has this part, which could have been against, but they kind of mispronounced it, or they kind of misspelled it because they didn't want to make it too obvious that antagonistic actually means against, right? What makes antagonistic people so unwilling to change? Like, why do antagonistic people don't have to change? They don't want to change. Why? Not all scientists are antagonistic to religion. That means not all scientists are against religion. They do not put up an opposition towards religion. Okay? So antagonistic, being against something or showing active opposition towards someone or something. For example, they both are definitely being antagonistic towards each other, right? Okay, let's go on to our next word, antedate. Okay, so antedate means to be of older date. Anti means opposite, right? Anti. And date, you know date, right? 3rd March, 4th March, 5th March, 7th June, 8th June, dates. So being opposite in the date. The dates go forward, but if they start going opposite, anti-date, going in opposite direction. If dates are going in opposite direction, that means they are going towards older dates, right? They are preceding in time. You are going towards the past. So antedate, opposite in date, means going opposite in the calendar, going opposite towards the date, means to be of older date than something, or to precede in time. Precede means to go before a certain time. Succeed means to follow after a certain time, right? Okay, so antedate means antedate, opposite date, right? To be of older date than something. The economic troubles antedate the current administration. That means the economic troubles that we are having, they existed before the current administration. All right, that means they are older in date, they are older in existence than the current administration. To make this check legal, you should antedate it by 1 week. That means if you want to pass this check, you wanted to put it in the bank and you want to withdraw money, or you want someone to withdraw money using this check, I think you should put this check into an older date. Put an old date on this check. Antedate the check by 1 week. That means take it in an older date. Take the check in an older date. Make it old. All right. So that is called making it antedate. The cold weather antedated their departure from Canada. So because of the cold weather, they had to antedate their departure from Canada. That means precede their departure. The time at which they should have departed, they departed before that time because of the cold weather. So cold weather antedated their departure, preceded their departure in time, made them depart before the actual time. All right, so antedate, opposite time, time going in the opposite direction, going in the older direction. So older dates is antedate, or time going in backward direction, preceding time is called as antedate. Okay then, here is our next word, antiquity. Now you might have heard antiques, right? My grandmother had some unique antiques with her, right? So antiques are things that are old, right? Things that belong to the past and they are still preserved. So they're antiques. And antiquity are not those things, but that age in which the things belong. So I can say antiquity is the ancient past. If I want to refer to a time period that was way in the past, ancient past, maybe during the times of Romans, the Roman Empire getting built, that was the ancient past, right? When they used to bring brave men out in the Colosseum to fight with lions, that was the ancient past. And I would call this phase, this part of time, as antiquity. All right, so the ancient past, especially the period before the Middle Ages, is called as antiquity. The state was brought to Rome, the statue was brought to Rome in antiquity. That means the statue was brought to Rome in the ancient past. It was not a recent happening. This happened way in the past. All right. Cannabis has been used for medicinal purposes since antiquity. Cannabis is a plant and it has been used for medicinal purposes for treating people since the ancient past. Like, it has been used forever. Okay. All antiquities that are discovered in Greece belong to the government. So anything that was, found in the ancient past, all these ancient past things which are discovered in Greece are belonging to the government, right? Okay. Here is our next word, antithesis. Anti, again, opposite, thesis, let's say theory, all right? So two things which are exact opposite in theory, let's say in meaning, okay? Antithesis. Anti, I told you, opposite. Thesis, people write thesis when they're doing PhD, right? So thesis, let's say, is sort of a theory. So, or knowledge of something. So if you are saying that two things are antithesis of each other, that means they're opposite in theory. They're opposite in meaning. Difference or opposition between two things. Simply speaking, the exact opposite. If two things are the exact opposite of each other, they are called as antithesis. For example, cold and hot. Absolutely opposite, right? Or maybe you are too brave and someone is a coward. So those two people are antithesis of each other, right? She is slim and shy, the very antithesis of her sister. That means there is a girl, she's slim, she's shy, and this is the exact opposite of her sister. This is the exact antithesis of her sister. That means, can you tell what her sister is like? Yes, her sister is definitely not slim and she's super confident, right? So antithesis of her sister, that means she's opposite of her sister. And if she is slim and shy, then her sister might be, healthy and super confident. All right. Love is the antithesis of selfishness. That's a fact. They both are opposites. Selfishness is always an antithesis to love. If you love someone, you'll never be selfish, right? There is an antithesis between the needs of the state and needs of the people. That means there is an opposition between the needs of the state and that of the people. They are not the same. They are exact opposites. Antithesis, right? Opposite in meaning, opposite in theory, right? Two words that are totally opposite of each other. All right. Apathy. Might have heard of the word sympathy, right? So sympathy is a word which means you are sensitive towards something, right? When you offer sympathy, that means you're offering concern. You're offering, like, you're being sensitive towards that person. Now, apathy, remember, if a is used before any word, like if there is a base word, a root word, pathy here, right? That means, let's say, concern. Pathy means concern. And A added before pathy means absence of concern. So A being added before a word usually makes the word mean that there is an absence of that root word. Okay, so if I'm saying apathy, then there is absence of interest, there is lack of interest, there is lack of enthusiasm or concern. So apathy, absence of concern, absence of interest. This girl, she seems tired, and that shows that she is lacking interest in the work she's doing right now, right? Maybe she's bored, she is not having enough courage or enough bandwidth to work more, right? So she is apathetic towards her work. Once defeated, he sank into apathy, right? So once this person had to face defeat, this person went all lacking in enthusiasm. That means they went into apathy. Authoritarian management often leads to apathy among employees. He can still avoid apathy and maintain that his life has some importance in the scheme of things. This person, maybe they are losing enthusiasm in life, they're losing interest in life, so they can still make sure that they do not become apathic, right? They do not become filled with apathy. So apathy, absence of concern. Adding a means absence of that thing, right? Okay, let's see our next word. Aplomb. Now remember, you do not pronounce the B here. It's just aplomb, right? I'll repeat for you. It's called aplomb, right? There is no sound for B. No aplomb, it's aplomb. Right? Confidence or assurance, especially when in a demanding situation. If you are in a situation that really wants you to be confident, brave, or be assuring, that is when we call someone to be aplomb, right? Now this cat, perhaps this cat needs to behave like a lion in a certain situation. Even in our life, we have to be a lion, even if we feel like a kitty, coward kitty inside, right? So yeah, sometimes a kitty has to become a lion. So confidence or assurance, especially in demanding situations, is aplomb. That is not always easy, but he has done it with great aplomb. That means something which was not easy was done by a person with great confidence, with great aplomb. Morgan handled the media attention with aplomb. Now, Morgan was not at all afraid, and he handled the media's attention with confidence, with aplomb, right? She performs the duties of a princess with great aplomb, right? With great confidence, she is doing the duties of a princess. She's being a great princess by being confident about her role. Okay? Okay. So aplomb, confidence. Apologist, a person who offers an argument in defense of something controversial. What is an apologist? Apologist is a person who is offering arguments in defense. Could be a lawyer, right? Anyone who is trying to defend you by offering arguments as to why you are right or why another person is wrong. They are said to be apologists. Afghan historians have tended to become strident apologists for their respective communities. That means Afghan historians are going to defend their communities by offering arguments in favor of their communities. All right. So who are they? They are apologists. Usually when you are apologizing to someone, you say sorry and you try to give an explanation as to what you did was not intentional, right? That is what an apology is. Similarly, an apologist tries to explain or tries to defend any occurrence or any happening. So a person who's offering arguments in defense to defend someone, they are said to be apologists. I am no apologist for Hitler. That means I'm not going to defend Hitler in any case, all right? He has been cast in the role of chief apologist for the government. Now, this person is going to be offering arguments in defense of the government in any controversial case, right? So he's an apologist. Now let's revise. Apologist, a person who offers an argument in defense of something, or it could be a controversial scenario, right? Someone who's going to defend you or defend anyone in an argument, right? So that is an apologist. Aplomb. Aplomb means being confident, doing something with great confidence. That means doing something with great aplomb, right? Aplomb sounds like a Roman emperor, right? Aplomb is a confident Roman emperor. So aplomb means confidence, right? Apathy, absence of sympathy, right? Let's remember it like this. Absence of sympathy is apathy. That means there is an absence of concern or lack of interest or enthusiasm. Antithesis, anti, opposite, thesis, theory. Let's remember like this. Opposite in theory, two words being exact opposite in meaning are antithesis of each other. Antiquity. Let's remember it from antiques. Things that belong to past, antiques. Antiquity is the phase in which those things belong. The ancient past is called as antiquity. Antedate, again, anti, let's say opposite, and date is a date, right? Or it could be referring to time as well. So going opposite in time, going opposite in dates, towards the older dates is called as antedate. So if something is older in existence than another thing, then that thing existing in the olden period is antedate to the newer thing, right? Antagonistic means being opposite in opinion or showing active opposition towards someone's idea or towards someone. Anachronism, chrono related to time, and let's say Anna is a girl who belongs to the olden times, right? So anachronism, something that is not belonging to this time, it is out of its time in history. We can even say it's outdated, right? So Anna is an outdated girl. Ameliorate, Amelia, right here is our Amelia, helping people, making their lives better. So ameliorate means to make a bad or unpleasant situation better for someone or for oneself. Ambivalent, it means having two opposing feelings about something at the same time. Or we can say being uncertain or being unsure about a decision. If you're not sure about something, that means you are ambivalent, all right?